iFILM, London. iFILM, London.
This is James Helder for iFILM London. I'm in Glasgow in the East End today. With me, I've got boxer Jon Slowey. How are we doing, John?
How we doing, mate? I'm good, fantastic.
It's actually really good to meet up with you. May I say, you've got a very, very nice home indeed.
Thanks very much, mate.
Yep. You grew up around this part of Glasgow. This is where you're from.
Been here all my days. Here's the rain starting. So that's
Welcome to Scotland.
used to that. Yeah. I grew up here, mate. Been a bit of block, so yeah.
You had quite a lot of amateur fights, 98 amateur fights, quite a good amateur career. Now you're fighting in the pro ranks. Could you just tell us a little bit how your pro career is progressing so far?
Fantastic. I think really happy with my progress. I came in as a very experienced amateur and a raw novice professional, and I've progressed into being a very good fighter. I've settled down. I'm throwing the punches. I'm moving well. I move like a pro. I box like a pro. I think like a pro. Paul Weir and Danny Vaughan are a fantastic team to have behind me. With Danny Vaughan and his camp, I've had numerous champions in Liverpool. Stephen Smith, Derry Matthews, to name a few. So I'm really happy with the team that I've got behind me. Alex Morrison's a fantastic guy and has got me the fights that I need. We're not rushing things. We're happy where we are today. So yeah, I'm really pleased with the progress I've made.
You've got a great record, 10 fights, 10 wins, and you've obviously boxed a lot of rounds as well, winning a lot of the fights on points. Again, this is going to stand you in good stead for the future.
Yeah, I'm really happy. I'm no rush to go out there and knock guys out. I'm happy to get the rounds in and learn. That's what it's all about. It's learning for me, and people will maybe say knock the guy out. I'm not a crowd pleaser. I'm in there to do my job and do what I do well.
You've fought some good, decent opponents, some good journey men and people that are known to iFILM London, obviously Robin Deacon amongst a few other fighters. So yeah, it's good to see you progressing. Now, tell us a little bit about the show you're fighting on tomorrow. It's obviously a big show, big deal in Glasgow. Could you tell us a little bit about it?
It's a massive show in Glasgow. It's probably one of the biggest ones Scotland's seen in a very long time. Kevin Mitchell's a fantastic fighter as well as Ricky. I think it's going to be fireworks, to be honest. I believe there's a massive constituency from London coming up, so I think there's going to be...
So we have heard there is a few boys coming up.
So there's going to be fireworks, I think, so I'm looking forward to it. There's some cracking prospects coming as well, so yeah, watch out for it. It's going to be a really good show.
Indeed, I actually can't wait to see it. Yeah, sorry about that. Basically, the rain, as it being Scotland, it rains here a lot, as we've learnt. So we just had to come in. The rain almost rained play, but we're inside now.
We're inside and we're dry, so we're happy.
Can you tell me a little bit about this piece of equipment?
That's George Foreman. He's the man, isn't he? He's the man that makes the meals. Yeah. If you've not got him, then you're onto plums, mate. Yeah, it's fantastic little invention. Yeah. But don't get me wrong, after fights, George Foreman goes out into the bin, and it's takeaways for me.
I can't argue with that. What I want to talk about as well is growing up. Obviously, it's quite a tough area, Glasgow. You lived in. Can you tell us a little bit about what it was like growing up and what made you choose the boxing career and the path you've gotten into?
Well, I got into boxing through my brother. He boxed, and I just fell in love with boxing from the age of 6. Obviously, growing up, I was a bit of a wild child, a bit of a rogue, and I was getting into trouble in school, and I loved to fight in school, and went to school, fought as boys do, and gang fighting is a big thing in Glasgow, and I was involved in a bit of gang fighting, but I'm glad that I stuck to my boxing because it's put me on the good path, you know. So I've seen a lot of friends, I've had mates that have died through drugs and things and other things, you know, people in jail. I'm just happy to be where I am today.
Well, more power to you, and it's good to see positive role models coming through of the young Scottish youth and the next generation and taking the sport very seriously.
I mean, growing up I was no angel, you know. As an amateur I got banned for smoking cannabis and missed the 2010 Commonwealth Games in Delhi. So, I mean, what's for you?
Must have been a massive big deal for you to miss that.
Yeah, it was, you know, but my own stupidity cost me that, so just got to get on with it. I'm a pro now and these mistakes won't happen anymore.
Tell us a little bit about your gym. Who's training in the gym with you? Who are the guys we should be looking out for? What's going on?
Our gym's actually really progressed into something special. It's probably one of the best gyms in Scotland for a long time. Trainers Paul Weir and Danny Vaughan. Danny Vaughan relocated from Liverpool to Glasgow. He's had numerous champions. So we've got a great gym. We've got Derry Matthews up sparring with us and training with us. John Simpson's in the gym. myself, Michael Roberts, Stephen Simmons. Yes, Xander White. There's some really good fighters, and it's a good crack in the gym just now. So.
Yeah, we've heard quite a lot about Xander White. We might even try and, if we get a chance to go and watch one of his fights a bit later.
Yeah, Xander's fighting tonight, so hopefully he can do the business. It's a rematch. What's the word I'm looking for? He's getting a revenge fight, I suppose, against Al Hamidi, who's a good fighter who fought Ricky Burns prior to Ricky's world title fight, so he's no mug. And he beat Xander his last outing, so this is a big fight for Xander and a big test, so hopefully he can do the business.
Tell me a little bit, how's Scottish boxing doing at the minute? From you're involved in the Scottish boxing, what's the scene saying at the moment?
I think Scottish boxing's on the up. I think we're really doing well for Britain and the world. We've got Ricky Burns, we've got Scott Harrison back, John Simpson's looking good for maybe fighting for a British title. Myself, I hope to be up there with them shortly. So yeah, I think it's really on the up.
Well, John, I wish you the best of luck with what you're doing, and hopefully tomorrow they'll be raising your hand in a victory. And thank you for giving iFILM a bit of your time.
Definitely, they'll be raising my hand tomorrow. Get your house on me.
You heard it here first.
All right, thanks very much.
James Helder with Jon Slowey in the East End of Scotland, Glasgow, for iFILM London. Thank you very much.
London.